you have 18 years where your household is a certain way, and it's a new transition point where your household will never be the same. I hate to say it, it's true.
Welcome to Carrie On, the show where we explore reinvention, self-discovery, and empowerment before, during, and after midlife. I'm your host, Carrie Murray. It's time to keep our head above the chaos and carry on. The Carrie On podcast is a space for honest conversations, personal stories, and powerful perspectives. While we may discuss health, wellness, finances, relationships, and social issues, the content shared is for informational and storytelling purposes only and should not be considered professional, medical, legal, financial, or therapeutic advice. Some episodes may contain sensitive topics or adult language. Listener discretion is advised. The views expressed by guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the host or affiliated organizations. We encourage listeners to seek out qualified professionals for guidance tailored to their individual needs.
We've all had those dreams, hobbies, and passions that got pushed aside as life, and for a lot of us, motherhood took over. But what if it's never too late to rediscover your talents or pursue the career ambitions you once had, especially as your kids leave the nest? I hope that this next season allows me to take on the world in new ways. I'm starting the show, and Broad Network, my business, is embarking on a new chapter. My daughter just got accepted to college and will be flying the coop very, very soon. It feels like we're both starting over in a lot of ways, and that comes with a lot of emotions. I want to continue to be a cool mom, but also reclaim my time and live an inspired life on the other side of the school drop-offs and pickups. Our amazing guest today is Dr. Meena Singh, a board-certified dermatologist and surgeon. We're going to dive into how she has overcome the challenges she faced, the mindset shifts that made it all possible, and how you, too, can embrace the opportunity to reinvent yourself no matter your age. Dr. Singh is a dedicated mom and powerhouse in the world of skin and hair care. She studied at Harvard, trained at the prestigious Mayo Clinic, and completed advanced surgical residency and training in New York, where she learned skin cancer removal, and popular cosmetic treatments like Botox, lasers, and fillers. She also trained with one of the world's top hair restoration experts, learning every modern hair transplant method out there, including techniques for treating hair loss caused by scarring. Whether it's hair thinning, bald spots, or cosmetic enhancement, Dr. Singh has the tools and the experience to help. She's even been featured on TLC's Bad Hair Day and now leads the Skin and Hair Center in Overland Park, Kansas, as its medical director. If you've ever wondered whether it's too late to pursue your dreams, this episode is for you. Let's get inspired and carry on. Thank you for joining me, Dr. Meena.
Thank you so much for having me. I love the intro.
My daughter, like I said, I'm going to try not to cry, is getting ready to go to, I'm in LA, she's going to New York City to pursue, to pursue musical theater.
Wow.
And it's hard. It's really, really hard. And I know you have still some in the home, and you're on the cusp of everyone out. My son is still here. I want to start with a real simple question is, what inspired you to pursue your dreams? Were you a little girl at 10 years old and said, I'm going to do hair transplants?
No, absolutely not. My mother is my main role model. She was the first Black woman to graduate from her medical school class. But, it's interesting. This is my first time speaking on a podcast about motherhood. So I want to kind of touch on that a bit and honor her, because she was the first Black woman, like I mentioned, to graduate from her medical school in the 1970s, which is kind of recent in history.
Yeah.
But there's 5 of us. I'm the oldest of 5 children. So she was raising 5 kids. I mean, my dad was amazing, but a lot of female physicians don't have 5 children, especially not back then. And so she was like an amazing role model. She was one of those people that could do everything and does do everything. She's still practicing. And she is the person who inspired me to really pursue medicine. And I was always good in science and math, but when you have a mother who is constantly taking care of the community, and, in the community that we are in, it's small, it's Kansas City. Most people that I run into randomly have not just seen my mom, or they've had a loved one who's seen my mom, because she's been practicing for so long. So she's my inspiration to be a community physician and actually impact the people around me. So that was my inspiration, but it was her as a mother also. So
Yeah.
she does everything. She made sure we were at everything, fed, clothed, educated, but also inspired us to be like a powerhouse success in the field as far as affecting our community.
I love that. And then now you're passing that on to your daughters as they're pursuing.
Yes, for sure.
I mean, they're very accomplished. I've been on your Instagram. It's pretty impressive what you have going on. And it's like, you've got one dancing, one over here in at this competition on track and field. Like, I don't know how you keep it straight. You must, like, how do you manage such an impressive career with all of these very, very, just phenomenal children?
Again, it goes back to my parents. They're kind of like one of those people that make no excuses. So whatever we wanted to do, they made it happen. They just never had any excuses for anything. They're not materialistic people. And so I'm raising my children the same way. But if we wanted to pursue something, they made sure we had that opportunity. So I try to raise the kids the same way. And I try to be no excuses also. So even with my schedule, I just opened this new practice back 6 months ago, which, was a big risk, especially, this far into my career. My daughter was going to college. I have 2 more at home that we're trying to get into college.
Yeah.
And so it definitely was a big, you talk about transition in life. And so it's like I'm opening this practice October of last year and then dropping off a child and all this stuff. But, I just wanted to show the kids that you could do all these things, be a businesswoman, be a physician, and make it to your kid, everything your kids do. So, unfortunately for my patients and my staff, I'm doing a lot of quick, can we reschedule this? Can we reschedule that? Turns out she has a track meet today. Kids need to be picked up, in a couple hours. And so because I do own my own clinic now, it's very easy to kind of pivot if the kids need something. So.
Yeah, that's the brilliant thing about entrepreneurship. I know for me, it was a gift. And I could, I'm working, I don't need to be in a clinic, but I'm working from home. So I can manage similar to you, drop off, pick up. Oh, we have to, go to soccer. We have to go to dance. All of the, trifold map of web of where we have to get in the same day. Right. Was that part of the, becoming an entrepreneur and opening your own clinic? That freedom, I know it's very, very, I'm not trying to minimize how difficult it is to own your own business, but did you feel the kind of freedom you got as a mom, a little bit more wiggle room in your schedule when you became an entrepreneur?
I said that, but it's kind of like, no, because I do own this practice. So I have to see patients and I can't annoy them too much. So they're just complaining and bothered and when I have to switch things up. So actually it was easier to do previously because I didn't own the practice. And I'm like, well, we got to reschedule. But now I actually do need to be here a lot more often.
Gotcha.
I can't take off as easily. So it's just that the kids are older. So, for me to lock in and start my own practice was, it was time.
Yeah, I get it. I totally get it. So what's a typical day like for you?
Yeah, I mean, my hours are okay. My hours are 8:30 to 5, sometimes to 5:30, but it's a lot of patient care. We're doing a lot of procedures, doing a lot of skincare, hair care. And so we're rocking and rolling from start to finish. There's not a lot of downtime. But then once I leave, even though I am a practice owner now, I have amazing staff, amazing team. They kind of handle everything else. So brilliant. I still get to just see patients. And because I have such an amazing team, they handle everything else business-wise.
Yes. I have an amazing team too. It's
a huge difference.
Absolutely essential. And now in this season where you have your daughter in college, how was that transition when you're like, okay, you're leaving?
She just came home yesterday. Thank God. Just came home. But I was going to say, if you need support, I feel like first children leaving for college, parents need a support group because the whole senior year is the last.
Yeah.
The last track meet, the last dance, the last prom, everything is the last. And even for Mother's Day, I was like, dang, this is the last Mother's Day where I have all my kids together in the same household. Like everything is just upsetting. I would be talking to my patients and just be like tearing up. Like crazy. I'm not that emotional, but it was just like emotional. And it's like, how it is. You almost are kind of proud of yourself. Like, man, I raised this kid. Yeah. Oh, I'm a single parent. So I really did raise this child. And I always credit my village because along the way, not just family members, but colleagues, friends, my staff, we've all played our part in raising this kids. But it would be like I would reflect on, wow, I'm really proud of myself She's still alive,
Yep.
made it to college, made it
Thriving.
through high school, and excelled. And I was her primary caregiver. Like, wow,
Yes. Hmm.
alive, they're
Thank you.
alive, something, you know?
I
So
truly, I love that. I hope they really spoil you on Mother's Day. Um,
they're alive. Everyone's alive.
yeah. So then I now have the opposite question. How did you prepare her to be away from you? And then what advice do you have for me, someone who's getting ready? Like I'm not someone who's helicopter, like all in your business. Like I like a little independence, but how was it for you?
Okay, well, I'm cheating because she is a scholar athlete. And so she plays 3 seasons in college. So she has cross country season, she has indoor season and outdoor season. So she didn't get to escape me too much. I
Ah,
tried to go to every single meet. So I actually saw her like every 2 or 3 weeks. So, you know,
that's
she's
still a
not
way
going.
though. Yeah.
So it's like she had some, parental support. I will say I was very proud of the fact that she barely called me the entire time she was in college. And if it was the opposite, I've been a lot more concerned. Like if she was calling me every single day with concerns, etc. She really only called me when she absolutely needed something, which I kind of was proud of because I did tell her, I was like, you're on your own now. Like, you've had a lot of attention, you've had a lot of help. You are now on your own. You have all the tools, you can do it. So well, really to answer your question, I think kind of the way she was raised, if it was something where I couldn't be at it, her aunties were at something, her uncles were at something, her grandparents were at something. And so she, even as a child, wasn't reliant on me all the time. And because she is actually the oldest grandchild, cousin, and child of mine, she was more responsible for the other kids. So she's very independent and kind of ready to go anyhow.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's helpful, but that's
It
the
is.
situation.
It truly is. My daughter is also the oldest
Okay.
grandchild, first
Yes.
daughter, first girl. I am as
Yes.
well. I'm the oldest grandchild of my 22 cousins. I'm the first
Wow.
girl. And
Okay.
so it is interesting. But what the other thing I'm curious about, once she left, were your other two kids like, wait, why are you giving us so much more attention and not dividing it among the three of us? Like,
Listen, she even gave them a lecture, like because she was a child. I literally could ask anything and she would do it right away, just the one time, or I didn't have to ask at all. Like dishes, get in the mail, get in the trash. And again, there's no man in the household; it's just us and the 3 girls. So they have to take on all roles. There's no one else. You can't depend on anyone else. So she was doing all the things. She had to give her sisters a lecture. It's on you now. You are
yeah.
responsible for rides. You're responsible for household. It's a team effort, and mommy's not going to be doing everything.
Yeah, yeah. So did you find that you had a little bit of time there once she left and that you could reclaim and maybe put into something else?
Absolutely not. Well, first of all, I was starting this clinic, so like most of my time was going into this. But again, so she goes to school in Michigan. I live in Kansas, so I was traveling every couple of weeks to see her meets. And then because my next daughter is a junior, her schedule got very important as well as trying to make her stuff. And then my youngest daughter, they all have like a ton of activities. So
Yeah.
no, and then I didn't have her help with transportation. So
Oh,
now the
that's a good
transportation
point. I didn't think about that.
accelerated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot
When I
about
say
that.
I relied upon her, and then she has like 2 besties that live in the neighborhood. These kids were basically helping raising my children. So when she couldn't give a ride, I was relying upon neighborhood kids to take care of my children, and then they all graduated. It's very sad.
It's hard. That's really hard. And now I'm starting to put together like, oh wait, my son doesn't drive yet, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. So put that on the list.
Yes.
Figure it all out. Now, was she really like motivated to go? Do you think that came from her athleticism? Did it come from your encouragement? Did it come from grandma who also went to college? Where did her drive come from, you think?
I think, well, we try not to pressure the kids too much, but I do try to instill them. You have 1,000 times more opportunities than any of us ever had. Even though my mom was the first to go to med school, I was the first to kind of leave for college. And then she did all her training locally. A lot of things we did were different than our previous generations. And I'm only a couple generations from sharecropping and slavery, actually. My grandparents were sharecroppers, great grandparents, came from the South to Kansas, et cetera, et cetera. So really, and my mom was born into American apartheid. she was born in the 1950s. So we were the first generation that could even have the right to vote, etc. So they don't have to think about any of these things. So the pressure was just that you should be doing 1,000 times better than us because you have all the opportunities. Things are handed to you, really. So what are you going to do with these resources? What are you going to do with these opportunities? So I think it was not that kind of pressure that we're saying out loud, but internal pressure to, you have no excuses. And the problem is I had her when I was in medical school. I had her sister when I was in medical school and her other sister while I was in residency. And I raised them with no help from their father. So now what is your excuse? All you have to do is study.
Right.
Sorry, guys. And when they say, oh, mommy, I'm so tired. I haven't slept. I'm like, oh, I can't remember what that's like, not being tired, being, sleeping well. That's not really an excuse when I already did those things on my own and, I didn't have any excuses. So like you have these things handed to you, do what you can from there.
Yeah, get to work. So you're talking about legacy. For sure. Yeah. That's especially from your grandmother's experience, from your whole family dating back all the way to Kansas during slavery and all of this. And now your daughters are seeing that, that's a legacy you all have been creating. So I'm blown away hearing this story. Wow. I didn't know that this was going to come up, but I'm loving this.
Well, no, I think because they really think that a lot of things happened a long time ago. Like your own grandmother experienced this. She's still alive. She's only 70.
Right.
These things. And then just, side note, Ruby Bridges, if you're not familiar, she helped to segregate, certain parts of the world, or America. My daughter got to meet her on a school field trip.
Oh, wow.
No, Ruby Bridges is still alive. She's the same age as your grandmother. This is not that long ago. No. And so when they complain about things like, oh, it's hot outside, I'm tired of walking. I'm like, imagine a couple generations ago what your ancestors were thinking. They were lucky to even go to school the way you go to school. Just don't forget.
Yeah, that part of that, now found, I get to be in air conditioning and everything is coming from the legacy that you created. Wow.
Lululemon, all that stuff,
all of it. I love it. And I love that it's a part of, their history and to understand that what they're benefiting from now came from even your grandmother. That's
100%. 100%.
And the 70s, I was born in the 70s. So to me, to say that was a long time ago, I'm like, no, it's not.
Not at all. No,
it's not. Okay. So tell me, you're doing clearly an amazing job with these kids. Let's fast forward. Maybe all three are out of the house. They're independently doing amazing things. You now have your house to yourself. So
why are you bringing this up?
Is there a dream still not realized? Is there something still on the vision board for you?
Yes, 100%. So again, we're going to go backwards. So my mom was the first to graduate from her medical school, kind of, kicking down doors just to, if they can't see us, they can't be us type of thing. She made it so we thought, oh, okay, it's possible to go into medical school, become a doctor. We are now doctors. Some of us own our own clinics. It is still very hard for Black students to go into medicine. We are such a small percentage of doctors. It's very challenging for us to get into competitive specialties for all the reasons. And so this is what I want to help with now. So I have this one clinic. I want to try to have multiple. I want to have more opportunities for underrepresented minorities to get into medical school, residency. I want to work on the pipelines, things like that. I just want to expand and scale so that there are just more opportunities really for everyone, not just underrepresented minorities, just anyone who wants to pursue medicine. It's just so challenging. There's so many barriers. And what's crazy is just there's so few opportunities. Well, so I should say this, there's less access to good doctors. So did you know there are a lot of positions that are filled by foreign medical graduates because we can't even fill all of our slots from American medical schools, which is just crazy. So I would just like for more opportunities. So that's what I kind of want to work on. And ideally the goal would be, have a week here in Kansas City, a week in California, a week on the East Coast, and just kind of travel to different clinics and work that way so that, it's like you have a home for all your children, but if you're the only one living in it, it gets very lonely very quickly. And even when the kids are somewhere else, even for one evening, I just panic. This is me. And so I'll go hang out with my sister's kids or do something else because I hate being at home by myself. But that's why when you're talking about when all my kids leave, I don't even like talking about it because I do not know how I'm going to survive.
Yeah.
I might just be nosy and hang out with them, you know?
Yeah. Or you can come hang with me because I don't know what I'm going to do either. Yeah. And I can't get any more pets. So, you know what I mean?
Oh, I've never even delved into that, but it's just like my whole life kind of revolves around decisions that are made because they live with me, you know, like where I did residency, what I chose to pursue, even things that I get involved with now. It's like, okay, but it's because I have them with me. When that changes, what now?
Yeah. What's your new baby? What's your new baby going to be? And it sounds like you got it for sure. On a side note, I did see this picture on Instagram, and it was 3 Black men in their Harvard. No, it wasn't Harvard, but it was they were in medical school, and they were the only 3 Black men in the entire class that were brain surgeons, and they were neurologists. And they had this huge picture. It was a huge picture of all these caps and gown. And it was these 3 guys, just like, it's only us. So, yeah. So, but it is kind of startling to see only 3 Black people in a sea of hundreds of graduates who are brain surgeons.
Exactly. That part too, because it's 2025.
Yeah.
It should be different, but you know, there are fewer Black men in medical school now than there were in the 70s.
Oh, wow. No, wow.
It's pretty, stark. That's okay. I mean, we're working on it, but it's unfortunate. 2025, you know?
Yeah, it is kind of ridiculous. And I'm curious, that's another podcast, but I'm curious, like, why, what is happening there? So, all right. So switching gears, I want to talk about, midlife skin and hair.
Yes.
A lot of the women who are watching this, are over 40. Are they lost if they've never once worn sunscreen until today? I don't know. Let's start with let's talk about midlife skin and hair, please.
Yes. So there are intrinsic and extrinsic signs of aging and causes of aging. Intrinsic would be like if you have diabetes or thyroid issues or something like that can affect how your collagen is produced and genetics as well. Extrinsic are sun exposure, hard living.
Hard living, yeah.
Things like that. And even like weight loss, because with all the medications that are out right now, really, if you look at someone that's super young, the volume is in the upper 2/3 of the face. Mm-hmm. And as we grow older, not younger, it kind of just gets down to the bottom kind of side. Yeah. Lines, all that stuff. So weight loss makes that worse because when you have a fuller face, if you look at someone that's a little heavier and has a really full face, they have very few fine lines. They have very few wrinkles. And when they lose the weight, the face actually looks like they look a little bit older. So anyhow, you just address all these things. So the main thing that you're going to address first is the extrinsic factors. And so the best thing that you can do and the cheapest thing is to use something a little exfoliating, a little vitamin C, anything exfoliating, some beta hydroxy acids, and then sunscreen. Because the sun breaks down collagen production, increases fine line, and increases discoloration. And this is in all skin types. Okay. But fair skin types is going to be more significant exposure or variable because the melanin actually acts as a natural SPF. It's like SPF 13, depending on how dark your skin is. So the lighter your skin is, the less natural SPF factor you're going to have. And then at nighttime, like the cheapest and most high yield thing you can do is a retinoid. So I don't know if you heard of like retinoids, that kind of thing. It exfoliates, turns over your skin, increases collagen production, decreases fine lines, decreases hyperpigmentation, and it helps with breakouts. And so if you are 40 something and have never done anything, do something exfoliating in the morning, a little vitamin C, beta hydroxy acid, sunscreen, and at nighttime do a retinoid, but prescription so that it's more active. And your skin will look better in 10 years than if you hadn't.
Oh, good advice. Good advice. Now let's talk about the hair. I never lost hair until I hit about 47. And then I was like, what's happening? Not even through pregnancy. Is this common? Like what do I do?
I mean, there's numerous causes for hair loss. Numerous.
For women who want more than just a getaway, Two Peacocks Travel offers transformative journeys that blend adventure, connection, and empowerment. Imagine wandering the colorful streets of Morocco with new friends, sharing stories over a meal in Peru, or conquering a new challenge with the encouragement of a supportive travel group. These experiences aren't just about places. They're about people, growth, and creating traditions that extend beyond the trip.
It's time to travel with purpose and find your travel bestie and make an unforgettable memories. Join the movement at twopeacockstravel.com. I've started seeing hair loss a little bit. I'm not going to lie, I have extensions in right now. So tell me about what can we do with hair loss, how we can prevent it?
Okay, so this is a complicated question because there's so many different types of hair loss, but I think what you're speaking to is just changes in hair cycling, because your hair cycles every 5 to 7 years, and then it's kind of like you have a new head of hair. But our hair has 3 phases of cycling: anagen growing phase, catagen resting phase, and then telogen is the shedding phase. And so you're supposed to have the majority of your hairs in the growing phase. Otherwise, you wouldn't have hair on your head. It's like 85 to 90% of your hairs. And they're on your head for 3 to 5 years, depending on several factors. But 3 to 5 years, and it grows. And then it will rest for a couple weeks. And then for 2 to 3 months, it'll be shedding. And it happens in waves that we typically don't notice unless there's an inciting factor that causes a shift. So you're supposed to shed 100, 150 hairs every single day. But if you have an inciting factor that leads to a shift, it can be 20 to 40% of hairs. And it can lead up to 400 to 1,000 hairs every single day. So your hair is coming out like crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Some of those inciting factors you mentioned are hormonal abnormalities or changes, changes in nutrition. Like we talked about, a lot of the weight loss drugs, those things can affect your hair cycling. Thyroid abnormality, iron deficiency, medication changes, stressors, hospitalization, that kind of thing. Anyhow, the best thing to do is address the actual cause. Okay. From there, let's say the inciting factor is you just had a baby. No matter what, it will still take 6 to 12 months for the hair cycle to fix itself or correct itself. Say you have a variable that is just lasting a long time, like perimenopause. Then you can get a chronic form of these issues where it's just years before you feel like your hair is cycling normally. But you can address that as well. The main thing that a woman can do, it's like super easy, is do topical minoxidil.
Oh.
Because that helps transition shedding hairs into growing hairs faster. It helps reverse thinning. And it optimizes really the hair cycling and the density.
Oh, wow. That's real.
Yeah. So it's like a long story, but no matter what type of hair loss you have, topical minoxidil, oral minoxidil, that helps with hair cycling. So you'll benefit no matter what. But you really, if you're actually having true hair loss, should see a dermatologist. It's a lot more complicated.
Okay. Good answer.
Short.
Yeah. No, talk to a dermatologist. Find someone like you. So what typically a woman, in my age, in her late 40s, blossoming into 50, what's a typical thing for a woman my age would come to see you for?
Oh, great question. So skin cancer screening, that's a big one. Mole checks. Still, unfortunately, I had to say this out loud, acne, breakouts. You would think by our age that wouldn't be a thing, but it definitely is.
Yeah.
So even like rosacea as well. Skin discoloration, aging, treatments for aging. And then because I am known for hair loss, I have a lot of patients that see me for hair loss.
Gotcha. And you do a lot of the hair transplant surgeries, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Is that a big part of your practice?
The hair loss period is, but not everyone's a hair transplant candidate. So we talk about all that, but a lot of patients that I'm seeing, we do treatments, non-surgical therapy for, and then if they're candidate, then we can pursue hair transplant. Okay.
So what would what's my financial investment into keeping myself looking stunning?
Well, that's what you just said, keeping yourself, right? So maintenance is going to be the best thing. So I'll tell you what I do. These are just like little cheat things, micro procedures that maintain, right? So I do a ton of chemical peels. I do microneedling. I do laser. And this just helps with the texture. It helps with resurfacing. It helps with exfoliation and brightening of the skin. You want your skin to look bright. And then I do a lot of neurotoxin like Botox.
Yeah.
So on me, I do it like maybe once a year, but it just helps because I'll get the lines here. But that's really all I do, but it just depends on where you are.
Yeah.
Woman that's 30, this is the type of stuff you should be doing so that you don't look different, or so you're happy at 50, basically. You're going to look different, but just so you don't feel like, wow, what happened at 50? There's so many things that we can do to prevent that.
Are you a leader in public child welfare or with an agency looking to create real change? At RFC 21, they don't just consult, they transform. As passionate advocates for progress, they understand the challenges you face. from skilled guidance on grant management and leadership strategy to provide expert witness services for your public child welfare cases. They help you transform the system that serve communities of color with purpose and intention. Their team of resourceful professionals brings integrity to every project, knowledge to every challenge, and innovation to every solution. It's time to move beyond the status quo to build something better together. Visit rfc21.com today and join the progressive movement reshaping public child welfare systems across the nation.
The other thing too is just like maintaining the fullness in your face. So if you we call it almost like exercise atrophy, women who are super thin and are like work out a lot and their faces are really less full, they're gonna look older. When someone is, say, 180 pounds, their face can be very full. And if they dropped to 120 pounds,
Oh, yeah. Well, I love this. And then there's just gravity. So we're just going to.
That part, I know.
Keep it fresh, ladies. Keep it fresh. Okay. Any final advice for our moms that got daughters headed off to college and in embracing this new chapter?
I would say cherish every second. Really take it in because it is a huge change in lifestyle. You have 18 years where your household is a certain way, and it's a new transition point where your household will never be the same. I hate to say it. It's true. But take advantage of it and just really embrace every moment and try to make it a nice environment for both of you so that they actually will miss you and want to come home.
Yes. I will do that.
Don't be too crazy.
Yeah, don't end up on their door of their dorm. Hi, mom's here.
No. I've cheated though. I go to those track meets. I go to all those track meets.
Believe me, if
I distance.
I mean, I'm getting on a plane if my child is performing on a stage in New York. I'm going.
Everything.
Yeah.
And like, oh, well, I just happen to be in town. I mean, I just came. You wanted somebody to be here. I'm here.
Yeah. So I'm supporting you. I love that. Now, as we wrap up, tell us where we can find you. You have the best Instagram. If you live in Kansas, you should go to Kansas. Clearly, by the looks of your beautiful skin and hair, you know what you're doing. So tell us where we can find you in all the places.
Yeah, so on Instagram, I'm at Dr. Meena Singh, DrMeena Singh. My website is skinandhaircenter.com. We actually have a lot of patients that come from around the country, so you're welcome to see me in Kansas City. And then, God willing, maybe I'll have other clinics in the future elsewhere. And then, those are the best ways to find me.
Yeah. You would
my Instagram and then my skinandhaircenter.com website.
Gotcha. We definitely need you in LA. Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Meena. I really appreciate this and having this conversation. I didn't shed a tear, so I'm really proud of us. I'm going to go get some retinol A and some vitamin C and add that to my skincare regimen. Everyone who's watching this, please like, comment, and subscribe. And just remember to always keep your head above the chaos and carry on. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Carrie On. Be sure to find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And as always, like and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. And don't forget to keep your head above the chaos and carry on.